Okay, so I've just spent the last hour walking around Ford Lake here in Ypsilanti using my X-T4 and the 50mm f2.0 lens, and it's starting to get pretty cold. It's dusk, obviously, and it's overcast and it is pretty gloomy. But the thing that I really wanted to test out today is the color of the Fuji X Weekly film recipe called Color Gold. Actually, that's not true. It's called Kodak Gold 200. Obviously, I barely know what I'm talking about. And as you can see from the sample photos, they look really nice. The colors are really warm and rich. The color temperature is turned way up towards the magenta end of the spectrum. And it's based on classic chrome, Fujifilm's classic chrome film simulation. But you'd never know it because it just looks so warm and rich. The color is bumped up to +3. The sharpness is turned down a little bit. The shadow definition is really nice and pronounced. The highlights are pulled down just a little bit. To me, it looks like it's a very usable profile. But in particular, it's something that I think I would end up returning to for this kind of situation right here, where there's almost like no color in any of the environment at all. It's just a bunch of brown foliage and trees, and then a bunch of snow and a gloomy sky. So I think I'm going to keep it installed on my camera and just kind of remember it as, you know, something that I can use in these kinds of situations, because normally when I want to go out and take pictures and the sky looks like this and the trees look like this, the landscape looks like this, it's pretty depressing. The photos are pretty boring. So if you're shooting just, you know, regular Provia and you're using auto white balance, it's not good. You just can't really get good photos in these kinds of conditions. So it's nice to have film simulation on hand that can actually make these kinds of conditions look a little bit more pleasing and a little more inviting. Filming this on top of this whatever you want to call this thing, this gazebo looking thing, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. It's a pretty cool little structure here on the edge of Ford Lake, but it's a little rickety. It's pretty stable. I'm not in danger of falling or anything like that, but it is covered with snow completely, and I'm the only person out here. I've been looking around. There's just nobody else around, not even on the golf course that's right over here. So it's very peaceful except for the highway, so you can hear that a little bit. But there are some animals around. I saw a couple of swans earlier, which are pretty nice looking, just kind of huddled up together on the ice. So I'm about to head back down because my hands are pretty cold. So I got to get my gloves back on, and I'm going to finish this loop. I want to go around the rest of this circle here and then back to my car. So yeah, that's it. So there you go. I hope you like these images. I think they're pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with them. I'm pleasantly surprised with the colors I'm getting from this film simulation. So, you know, as always, thanks to Richie Roche for coming up with this. Fuji X Weekly, the website, is where you can go to check it out. I suggest if you're from the Midwest like me, and you're surrounded by these kinds of conditions, I suggest putting it on your Fuji and just keep it in mind for days like this, these gloomy days. So there you go. I'm going to walk back down and continue my loop. So the later it gets, the further into blue hour we get, the more this red color temperature is standing out like it's a little bit artificial. And so it looked really good at dusk, or at least in the hour leading up to dusk. But right now it's starting to look overwhelmingly red. And I'm tempted to change the color temperature on the camera, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it set the way it is because I want to continue testing it and thinking about it in different conditions. So it looked pretty good in the conditions earlier today, but kind of like with the Portra 400 color temperature, it ends up looking a little bit off at different points of the day. So like what I've done with my other videos where I'm testing different film simulations, oh wow, look at these geese. I love it. I love seeing big lines of geese like that. There's another line of them over there, big groups of them. Yeah, I love this. For whatever reason, geese in formation, you know, like a V of geese, I will always stop and photograph it. It always just looks so good to me. They're all over right now. They're just all over. So that's got to be like 300 geese that just flew over. I don't know, maybe even more, maybe like 500 geese. I don't know. That was a lot of geese. All right, at any rate, what was I talking about? I was talking about what? These film simulations? I'm pretty much done talking about that, I guess.